Hello, hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It's evening here, and wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day. It's good to see you. It's been a while. And yes, of course, I miss you. I hope you guys are doing good. Again, thank you for joining me. And if you can hear me, check, check, let me know. And tell me where are you watching from, and ask anything in the chat, in the comments. As always, this is a chill stream. I want to share with you today some cool tips. Yesterday, I was experimenting with Twinmotion, and I thought, I like this. I need to share with you a workflow that I think I will start using more. In the past, converting scenes from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine used to take more time, and it was not really good, but now it's actually really good. So we will talk about it and we will keep going. So thank you so much for joining, and in a minute we're gonna get started. I just want to confirm that you can hear me well and everything is working as intended. So let me make sure the chat is somewhere I can see. And hey, Alice, Omar, Nina, Art Visual, hello, hello. Hope you guys are doing good. Thank you for making sure that my mic is working and for joining in. And this is new on YouTube. We have like top fans or something, these crowns. So I think the more you chat, the higher you will be in the ladder. I don't know. So it's been a while. It's been like 2 months or something. So again, it's good to see you guys. So I need you to chat more. All right. Now, something to note, I'm not sure, I hope this will be fine, but there is some sort of delay between in the stream in general, where I read the messages and where I reply. I don't know. So the internet here is not the best, but it is what it is. And let's get started. So on my other monitor, I have OBS on the side, so I'm gonna start recording soon. And Ahlan Omar Habibi. Yogesh Kumar, is your blueprint course complete on your website? Well, thank you so much for asking. I wanted to talk about my blueprint course as we get started. So to answer your question and to leave a link to everyone, there is an offer on the course that will end tomorrow. I have been working on this for the past 7 months, fully locked in, fully focused. Every day I wake up, blueprint, blueprint, blueprint until I sleep. Between research, between development, and between recording lessons and re-recording lessons, because I want to get to the point. And blueprint is interesting. So you have less than 2 days to make the offer. The price will increase afterwards, and it will keep increasing because there is a roadmap actually of features that we are building. Now, in terms of complete, I would say it's 95% complete, because if you look at all the core systems we are building, from navigation to customization to information display and so on, we have more than 15, 18 systems. We will explore some of them today. And we have much more than these in the roadmap. So I would say the Blueprint course is complete. We have now more than 45 hours. That's a lot of hours of educational content, 240 lessons. And it's a lot, if you ask me. But it's designed for anyone who wants to learn Blueprint and gain the ability to create customized experiences of your architectural projects. So custom experiences, if you will. And this is truly something I wish I had when I first started learning Blueprint in the past. So I'm very proud of this, and I will leave a link. Actually, I pinned a link for you in the description. So if you are interested in learning Blueprint, if you are interested in turning your architectural visualizations into interactive experiences, I highly recommend this. I don't think there is any single course like this online where we dive in massive depth with Blueprint and visual scripting to build the systems we want to build. I am someone who is lazy. For example, when I set up a project, so this is a feature I developed just a couple of days ago, where we want to have teleportation points. You guys remember the teleportation in the past, these points here. In the past, 5 months ago when I first made this system, it was kind of manual, but now it's scalable in terms of less work we do. So when you get the template, and the template will be released as a standalone in the near future, when you set things up, they will just work for you. I'm trying my best to make the template for people who don't want to study Blueprint and they just want to turn their projects into interactive experiences as fast as possible. So this panel here now is also dynamic. This means if I bring a teleportation point, so first let's remove all of them. None are here now. We will get an error actually. So this is empty. If I bring them back, and let's say I'm going to select everything and I'm going to set them to, let's say, first floor. So all these here now, let's select all of them and set them on the first floor. And let's just select one and set it on, let's say, the second floor. And let's call this, for example, instead of teleportation point B, second floor B, let's make 2. Okay, so here is a duplicate. Let's call it B1, for example. Click on play, click on teleport. We have all the teleportation points on the first floor now, and just 2 on the second floor. And this is very easy to customize. You can add as many as you want. These here will be dynamically populated, and basically if you want to add more, this is a list that you can fill with enumerations to set up your teleportation system display lists. So I'm very excited about this, and that's what I mean by lazy. I want to set things up where I want to work on a project. I just import the template, set few things up, and it's ready to go. So yes, the course is complete, and there will be many more features along the way, and tips and tricks and so on. And we will explore it in more depth once we finish our Twinmotion quick session, Twinmotion to Unreal Engine quick session. Shabir, hello, hello. Omar, I'm so glad you like the course. I'm very happy with that. So Unreal or Twinmotion for Arch Render, which is the best? I would say both. If you are in massive rush, like you have a deadline tomorrow, go with Twinmotion. If you want to build on top of what you made in Twinmotion, then Unreal Engine. And that's today's topic, actually. Today's topic, we want to open a project in Twinmotion and we want to export it to Unreal Engine with Twinmotion DataMath exporter. It has been massively improved. I recently noticed that. By recently, I mean just yesterday. And I wanted to go live before I make a video about it to say hello to you guys. It's been a while. And to, well, this is the answer to your question. So Twinmotion for very fast renders and Unreal Engine to expand on your project and to turn it into an interactive experience. Yes, all the user interfaces and all the controllers are supported. Now, in terms of controllers, right now we support only mouse and keyboard and the this guy, the controller, basically. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, you can. And in the future, this will be either its own separate small mini course or, well, either that, and it will be a free update on the template where we're going to support touch inputs on touch screens. So that's for future as well. Okay. All right, let's get started, guys. Let's go, I'm excited. Now, you may have used Unreal Engine in the past, and let me quickly create a new folder here. I'm going to call it project, let's say technical school. Let's make a new folder for DataMath or FBX files and a level. Let's call this tech school. And let me also set a timer for us so I remember to stretch. You may have seen me using this or no. I always use these timers just to remember to stretch, to stand up, and so on. Okay. Now, let me go to tools, well, window. Let's add the lights, the default lighting. And I think I removed the DataMath file. Let me just quickly get that. Restore, yes, restore, yes. And create. Okay. Two lights, why? Now, let's import a DataMath file for testing. Let's go to the desktop. I have a folder called Beam Tests, and I have this file that I exported yesterday for testing purposes. This is my workflow for years, where I export a DataMath file before I import it, and I just start work on it. And I have my own library in Unreal Engine with materials such as glass, wood, and so on. And of course, we have the library from Quixel Megascans and online libraries in general. So right now, this file does not have materials. I exported this as it is from Revit. Well, I exported it first as an FBX file, and then from Revit to 3ds Max, and from 3ds Max as DataMath file. And usually we import our files like this with DataMath to Unreal Engine, and we get started with our materials. So here I have a complete new project. I don't have any materials that I can assign, but let's say this chrome material, is it working? For some reason, it's not working. Interesting. Anyway, let's quickly make any material just to demonstrate more what I mean. And let's add a color, and let's call this, for example, blue, like something for the glass, right? In Unreal Engine, when you want to assign the glass material on all your glass elements, it's highly recommended that we select all our glass elements. It's not only recommended, sorry. It's mandatory to select the objects that you want to assign a glass material on, like this, and then you will assign your glass material like so, okay? And this is fine if you have your project organized. It's very easy, actually, to simply type glazed here, for example, then select the tech school, Control-Alt-D. This will select everything under your selection. So these are now all the glass objects. And if I assign this now, this will assign my glass materials on all the glass materials. And now we can do the same for other surfaces. But this can get complicated if you have complicated namings, or if your project is still work in progress, which is, let's say, the case for many projects. Now, the beauty with Twinmotion, when we use Twinmotion, Let me open it here and let's import our files. So if you're new to Twinmotion, feel free to ask me in the chat. I will do my best to explain. But here's the default UI. In fact, when you open it, you have these. So just for organization purposes, I deleted them. And let me also, what is this? Who are you? Oh, this is, yeah, okay. This is the starting base graphics. Let's delete that. To import assets in Twinmotion, we go here to the import and we click on this plus button here. Then you can import geometry, direct link, and so on. This will not be in depth. I have on the channel some in-depth tutorials, and I look forward to make a new one for the Twinmotion 2025 in the near future. Let me know in the chat if you'd love a Twinmotion lesson, or detailed lesson. Now I'm going to select my file. So let's go back to the desktop, beam test, and let's select the FBX file, not the DataMath, because the beauty of Twinmotion, you can import all these files. FBX, SketchUp, OBJ, Cinema 4D, DataMath, JLTF, and much more. Okay, you can do the same 3ds Max in Unreal Engine, by the way, because Twinmotion is built on top of Unreal Engine. But Twinmotion is designed for architects in mind. And many things are streamlined, okay? So let's open the technical school, and here under the options, I'm going to keep things as they are. I'm going to click on import, and this will read the data. Here, we have used the scene material or use imported material, so the material conflict. I'm gonna say use imported material because this is an export from Revit as it is, okay? So let's click OK. And here is our project, the technical school. Give it a few seconds. And let's read the chat. I think the only problem is that the animated characters and animals don't show a new... That's true. The 3D grass won't show the animated objects like cars and characters. They won't show. So you need to make your own solutions in Unreal Engine when you make these in Twinmotion. Anyway. Good to see you, Naji, by the way. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Now, here's our project. The same file we imported in Unreal Engine. Here we are in Twinmotion. Now, in Unreal Engine, you want to make your own materials, or you may have your own material library, and then you can start assigning elements and things around. In Twinmotion, you don't need any of that because it comes with the library, and that's really nice for quick visualizations. So we go to material here, and you have all these material objects. Let's go to glass, for example. And let's say we want to start with clear glass. So I'm going to click and drag, and I'm going to assign this on the glass. And as you can see, anything that have the material, this material here, is going to get the same treatment. So glass object can be assigned with basically one click. Now, that's beautiful. That's really good. That's so fast. Like for me, I think the new workflow is sending projects to Twinmotion, assigning materials fast, things like that can be done fast in Twinmotion, and then export from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. So now let's go to the material, and let's go to the stone, for example, and let's say the stacked stone. Let's assign this here. It's fine-ish. And let's increase the scale of this. So this is something I noticed on this project as I was doing my test. The scale is off, so let's set it to 10 perhaps, or 6, or wherever. And there we go. It will assign this material on all my exterior walls. Now, the same on these metallic objects here. So let's go to the materials, and let's go to, where is the metal? Here is the metal. Let's say brushed aluminum. Let's assign this on the, whoa, relax. Let's assign it here, the brushed aluminum. And let's say this here, these panels, if you click on it, so it says panel solid, what is this, metal sunscreen. Let's give them this aluminum panel, let's see. Yeah, I like it. Let's do this here and here, and as you can see, it assigned everything with one click. Very nice, very easy. So We can do the same on these objects. Now I don't know the materials here, so these curved beam, let's say this is also metal, so let's go with the brushed aluminum, or maybe some better options as we go. So let's quickly also explore some of this. I also like the preview renders here, they are nice. So metal chrome, let's assign that here, no problem. And let's assign it here. Looking good. And we can fly around the project to assign our materials, but let's see, did we assign everything here? Kind of. So here, the roof generic, I don't know what exactly I want to assign this on this area, so let's go perhaps to concrete, or let's go to roof coverings. Interesting. Let's see. Will this work? Yeah, why not? Let's set the scale also to 6 or something. And let's go to this roof here and assign the same material, and let's set the scale to 6 or 10. Yeah, not bad. And yeah, you get the idea, we can do the same on everything. So let's go back to materials, ground, man-made, the asphalt. So let's say the asphalt, assign this here and set the scale to 10. And I completely forgot to start recording just in case, but that's okay. So let's start recording. And maybe, yeah, this is fine. Let's go to nature. Hello, Tina. Hope you're doing good. Let's assign this grass and let's set the scale to 10. Okay. Sorry. Let's go inside the building. So I also want to set the Unreal Engine controls for the down and up. There we go. Because by default they are inverted. When you assign a material, you can go to materials here and you can click on that material. So let's say the asphalt. I'm just double checking if I made this big. Yes, we did. But it's still too repetitive, so perhaps we can make it something like 25. Yeah, we can. Let's say 20. And you basically do this on your project. You find elements that need materials and you assign the materials. So here, let's make standard material for these strips. Keep it as it is, and let's call it, can we rename him? New standard. Yeah, right click, let's call it standard white material. Okay, let's go now inside the building, or let's, from outside here, we need to add concrete. So we have fine concrete, exposed, aggregated concrete. Let's add that, why not? Set the scale to 10. Select the element here and raise it just a little. So let's select it like so. And nice, we have a modeling mode in Twinmotion now. That's new. It's been a while since I used Twinmotion, so I really like this. So now I'm gonna select this, and I wanna remember from where can we set this exactly. So if you type 0.1, it will just set that for you, or minus 0.1. That's nice. So I'm gonna raise it just a little bit like so. Let's say here the poured concrete. Yeah, let's go inside now. And let's assign some other materials. Let's increase the scale. This will not work here, so let's go to floor or flooring. Base context. Let's go to the materials again and let's find tiles. Can we find something here? Let's try this. Yeah, this looks like it's cool. So how about this? These concrete tiles, they look fine. So let's undo multiple times. And let's add these concrete tiles. Now, if you don't want for the material to be assigned on all similar surfaces, which is the default behavior, I remember there was a button somewhere. So let's go to remember where that was. Yeah, it was here. Here, if you click replace material, this will replace it everywhere, and apply to object, this will apply just to one object, as you can see here. So let's set this to something like 10, and that's nice. So let's go to, I'm gonna quickly assign everything, and then we will export this to Unreal Engine. So let's go to wall, yeah, there we go, wall coverings, and let's say plaster coating. And I'm going to set this to replace material, and I'm gonna assign it on some of these objects. So let's say this is 10. Let's say same here. And for the walls as well. So these are different type of materials. You can assign the same material or different materials as well. You get it, Tina? You get it? So, by the way, we can also change how the render looks. Right now, I think we are using screens. I forgot the name of this render, but it's definitely not Lumen, for example. So let me quickly remember. If we go to, let's check first from the preferences, the quality, appearance. Let's increase the appearance, the interface a little bit, 10%, so it's easier for everyone to read. 10%, it's okay. Do we need, I don't want to restart, please. Okay. And let's go again to preferences, the quality here, we're using ultra quality, cool. Resolution scale, profile, DLSS frame generation, this is new as well. Okay, so the quality of the render is not from here. If we click on ambience, I think it was somewhere from here. Render, there we go. Click on ambience, click on render. Here we have standard render, and here, if you click, this is Lumen. And that looks so much nicer, if you ask me. Thanks, Omar. I found it. Hello, Danish. I'm happy to be live too. I miss you guys. It's been a while. So let's go back to the materials. Let's go to the metal part here, and let's assign the brushed aluminum, perhaps, on here. Nah. Let's press Ctrl-Z, Ctrl-Y to undo and redo, and let's just do metal chrome. And let's go to materials. Let's go to the wood part, perhaps, and maybe we can assign the floor as a start. On the ash here, let's set the scale. 6 works okay. And let's find a nice material for the wood side. The stair side, I mean. What can we go with? First, let's go to ground. No. Let's see, anything from the wood can work with us. That's fine for now. I remember also we have some emissive materials. Do we have? Yeah, we do. So let's assign this on here. Is it gonna work? Huh. Yeah, it's working, but it's not emissive as much as we want it to, but that's okay. Now, let's go to the metal part, assign this here. So if you have any project, try exporting that project to Twinmotion, and let's follow along together. You can also go to the materials here. If you've assigned materials earlier, you can find them here, and you can click and drag and assign these materials, just like that. You can also create a duplicate, assign that duplicate, and then you can rotate that duplicate like so. So we don't chain the duplicates. Well, technically I chained them, so let's press Ctrl Z. Before we assign it, create a duplicate, and assign it, and then rotate it. Okay, because I want to rotate it only on the doors, not on the stairs, for example. And for the floors here of the stairs, Omar, it seems you use Twinmotion a lot. Do you have any tips for us? Any tips you want to share with me and the rest of us? That would be dope. So I'm looking at some material options for the stair steps. Let's say noisy marble, how that is going to look. It's gonna look fine. Let's increase the scale a little. Looking nice. So, Dinesh, can you explain what is the major difference between Twinmotion and Unreal Engine? Which one is the best for Archviz? I don't say best for Archviz anymore. I say the best for the job at hand. So if you want quick renders of your project, I would definitely use Twinmotion. If you want to expand on your project, I would use Unreal Engine. Today's topic, though, is using Twinmotion as a base, as a start, to quickly assign objects and materials and perhaps even place some furniture. And then, with the magic of DataMath Exporter, we're going to export this from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine, and I will showcase my progress on AEC Interactive, my blueprint, the one I have been building for the past 6-7 months, where we will explore the project. So keep in mind also, Unreal Engine is what Twinmotion team used to build Twinmotion. So when you learn Unreal Engine and you learn programming and visual scripting and whatnot, you can build tools that are similar to Twinmotion. Of course, this takes a lot of time, but that's the main difference. Twinmotion is like a tool designed for quick visualizations. I love the ability to share things on the cloud. It gets the job done really fast. And Unreal Engine is like, it's an engine. You can do anything you want with it. So that's how I would look at it, okay? I like the happy accident here, where when we assigned the material here, and it's also assigned here and here, but this is an accident and it's not supposed to happen. Maybe they both have the same material ID from the file I exported, but I actually like this. It's looking nice. These lumen reflections, they are cool. Anyway, let's pay more attention if it happens again so we can be aware of it. Thank you, Omar. Okay, let's see what else. Here we need also some wood materials, so let's assign that. And let's see, let me also drink some coffee. Here we have this wall. Let's assign this plaster on it. I love when they've added the lumen to Twinmotion. This makes massive difference because to see nice results we used to like path trace images, but now between standard and lumen, it's massive. It's beautiful. Here we can see mesh conflicts. I like they also included this to see things that we need to fix. So I don't want to spend too much time here. I want to quickly assign a couple of material options so we are happy with the result, and I want to send this to Unreal Engine. Omar, you're number one, my man. Let's go. So a question to everyone, where are you guys watching from? Twinmotion, don't crash, please. Is it gonna crash? It got frozen now. So if it crash, I'm gonna be sad. Ah. Bro, don't crash. Let's refresh for good luck. Right click, refresh for good luck. Okay. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Control Z. Let's save just in case. Here, let's say tech, school, and save. Thank you, Twinmotion, for not crashing. You really made my day. And look at that, 25 minutes went just like that. So let me quickly do this. Oh. This is my favorite tool in Windows. I have 25 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. Sometimes I want to focus for 25. Sometimes I want to rest for 5. Sometimes I want to focus for 10 or for 15. And it's good to have such a thing. Actually, when I focus also, I have these boxes. Every box is 25 minutes. So I like sometimes to, like let's say going live, I draw a box, and when it's empty, and after the 25 minutes finishes, I scratch it, I fill it, basically like this. I like it. It's a visual way to track progress. And I have so many sticky notes in front of me, like these guys, and coffee. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, I would kindly request if you leave a like so we can let the algorithm knows that you are enjoying the stream. And with that being said, let's continue. Let's set another 25 and let's go. Twinmotion has so many new features, especially for creating interactive presentations. Yeah, I wanted to try these, Omar. Perhaps in future, we can try the interactive presentations. I never tested them. Like it's been maybe 6, 7, 8 months since I last used Twinmotion, and I used it just to make a tutorial. So we should do it. Another Twinmotion stream or a video on the topic exploring the interactive features. So now let's go, let's give this wall a different look. Why not? So let's set it to 10. Look at that. Lumen makes everything looking nice. And here we have some cloth objects. So let's go to fabric. Let's assign this here for the gaze. And maybe these here. These are lights, no? What are these? Yeah, lights. 100%. I'm down, my man. So, looking good, looking good. Now we can assign the materials here as well. Like, after I tested Twinmotion yesterday and I was quickly assigning things left and right, as you can see here, I was like, okay, I am onto something here. I am definitely going to start building my library in Twinmotion And because as you can see, you can assign materials on any architectural projects really fast, really fast. Like in Unreal Engine, I really have to name everything and keep them like organized as much as possible before I have the ability to type, like, let's say table, and then select the tables and assign their materials. So I really love the Twinmotion workflow we have here. Now, just for fun, let's delete this sofa and let's assign, let's say this here on this sofa, and let's set the scale to, we have so many materials here. Where is this material? Gaze? No. Carpet velvet? Yeah, carpet velvet on the sofa. Why not? So let's assign that. Let's go to the library now, and let's go to objects, and let's go to home. Let's go to a living room, sofa. Let's see. Will this look nice? It looks nice indeed. So let's place it. This is just for testing purposes. We want now to test the data.math exporter. So let's add this here. And let's continue. Yes, Art Visual Studio. I love Twinmotion, or I'm starting to fall in love with Twinmotion, so I will definitely be making more content and tutorials about it. Okay. So let's go outside now, and let's go to the library again. Well, let's go to the garage or the parking lot, and let's go to vehicles, cars, and let's add a couple of cars. Here's a nice sedan. Let's rotate it like so, and press Shift to create a duplicate, select an instance, and make a few, right? Let's select another sedan. Let's rotate it. Sorry. Make it slightly tilted like this, and make another. John, hello. Hope you're doing good. I'm glad you find this amazing. And let's add more cars, because cars are nice. And let's perhaps give it a color, like a red. And let's add a van here, why not? Maybe it's too much, but it's okay, it's okay. Let's add another, hold Shift and move it around to, wow, to move it around to create a duplicate. And let's go like so, add another, and I think we're good. Mango, isn't Twinmotion's material unnecessarily complicated for real-time visualizations? I won't say they are complicated if you're talking about the data.math exporter later, because they are set up in a way where you have many controls. You have the control for the section, this guy here, right? So this is the materials in Twinmotion are set up so they can work with this sectioning tool, and I have something very similar in my AEC Interactive tool, but I like this even more, to be honest. So that's one, and they also have weathering effects like winter, summer, is it rainy? So these are all very important material parameters that are set up to work with all needs, if you will. So that's what makes them slightly more complicated than your good old default materials, where we have just the albedo color, the normal color, and whatnot. And yeah, so I think that's my answer. So here, let's go now to add slightly some vegetation. Let's go to bushes, perhaps. Let's see, what is this? Bush base. Let's add a couple here. Let's add like few. Select. Oh, what did I do? If I hold shift and click, oh, that's a happy accident. If you hold shift, yeah, if you hold shift and click somewhere, you will place the material, the selected objects somewhere. So that's nice. I like it. So if I hold control, I can select another and I hold shift and move it to create an instance. And let's see, so this push paste 2, perhaps we need another. So let's hold shift and rotate. Or maybe we just need one. Hold shift like so. Maybe I should try, well, let's keep this for now. Do we have, don't crash. Don't crash. Sir, if you crash, I'm gonna be sad. As long as you can't move the gizmo of the meshes inside Twinmotion, I cannot use it. It's horrible when you load FBX assets inside Twinmotion and the gizmo is 20 kilometers away. Yeah, Shafi, I feel you, man. But that's why we prepare our meshes before we export them, unless you are talking about something we import from the marketplace. Not all assets are perfect. So yeah, I know what you're talking about. Been there, done that. Maybe, I remember they had something about the gizmo, but I'm not sure. Oh, by the way, this is click to render like a path traced image. Easy peasy, but we don't need that here. So here we have the move tool, the rotate tool, the scale tool. I was looking for this, the scale tool, just to make this slightly bigger. And I wanted to, yeah, I don't think we can fix or change the pivot point in Twinmotion. Now this is one way I'm doing this, and I clicked on the shortcut here again. What is the shortcut for this? Is it backspace? Is it delete? No. I'm sure, there we go. We have populate tool here, and we have path, place. Let's see, path, is it going to work? Place, paint. Let's say we want to paint this. And let's say we want the diameter to be slightly bigger. So this is way too small. There is no better than alternative alt middle button. I'm gonna test that now in a moment, Shafi. Thank you for the suggestions. And let's quickly assign these. And I wonder if we have something like Unreal, where can we select a specific object and move it around, or no, we cannot. It looks like no, we cannot. We have a density, so I should improve my painting in this scenario, like so. If I improve my painting, they will be placed where they should be. Yahya, why don't you learn how to paint better, Yahya? Paint better or get out of here. So let me delete these and paint on top of them again. Oh. Alt click to remove, I think. Let's try that. Thank you for the feedback, Omar. Now let's stop populating for a second and let's click Alt click. So Alt right click is to zoom in and out. Alt left click is to orbit, which is also left click is to orbit. So Alt left click literally does nothing. Right click, look around. Middle mouse button to pan. I need to remember these. Now if you hold Alt and move this, nothing also happens. Shift to duplicate, but Alt does nothing as of now. No problem, no problem. Well, it's okay. as you can see, you can place as many vegetations as you want. So let's also, you can do that manually or you can paint it. So let's paint it. So let's go now to populate again. Let's bring this Indian sandwood, why not? And let's paint a little. Can I paint more than a little? Aha, they have some diameter around them. That's okay. Let's add another tree. So if you want more control, you need to place things manually, which is like so, which is something I'm totally fine with. Like this, easy peasy. And let's say, what do we have? We have landscape, bushes, detailed grass, rocks. These are too big as of rocks. Let's place. I don't want to spend too much time because I want to export this to Unreal Engine. Camera orbit from 1 to 6. Yes. 1 is walking like a turtle. 2 is like a cat. 6 is like a plane. And so on. Ah, there we go. Here's the season as well for all these guys. R is for the rendering here, as you can see. Okay, very nice. Let's make this a very small tree. I think this is fine. Maybe it's kind of too small, so let's make it bigger. I'm speaking in opposite. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. Let's make it slightly bigger. F to focus. Okay, and we can keep going. Now, I want to do a test. I want to add, what other elements can we add so we can do now the export to Unreal? Alt middle button is the shortcut to put the gizmo wherever you want inside Unreal Engine, not Twinmotion. Yes, you're right, Shafi. And Shafi, you know in Unreal Engine we have the modeling tools too, right? They are amazing. Speaking of modeling tools, they don't do anything here in terms of the gizmo, but who knows, they might change something in the future. So in terms of the furniture, should we add anything or are we good? If I want to spend more time, I would definitely add more furniture and whatnot. And I wish if we had the ability to change the gizmo as you said, but unfortunately we cannot. Anyway, characters, let's add some characters. We need some people. Perhaps we can add them at the entrance. So character, posed humans, business, Helen, okay, hello Helen, Cortez, hello Cortez. Do you like chicken nuggets or potatoes? I remember we also had a cat. Yeah, there we go. Animals. Felix, good to see you again. I made a tutorial about this a few years ago and this guy made me laugh. He's a funny character. I mean, look at him. Of course, he won't be animated. Actually, I'm not even sure if he would be exported to Unreal Engine as an animated character. And if this was Istanbul, let me see. No, we cannot add Felix. But if this was Istanbul, it would look like this. In Istanbul, you see cats all over the place, everywhere. In the metro, in the school, in the parking lot, on the cars, everywhere. They own the place. So, yeah, that's nice. So let's see again. Cut out, we don't want that. Let's say the character. Animated humans, they won't export as far as I know, but the static characters, they will export. So just the posed humans as far as I remember. Okay, user library is what I'm going to build in the future. Now, do we need to add anything else? I think that's it. For now, perhaps that can be it. Maybe we can switch this material here to something that is nicer. So click and add the material like so. Why not? And you get the idea, we can spend as much time as we want playing around, adding things and so on. Once you're happy with your Twinmotion project, once you assign the materials, actually decals, yeah. Let's see, do we have decals here? Let's go, we have, of course. So let's do this. So this is manually placed decal. How about, can we populate decals? Paint, scatter, spacing. Yes, we can. Once you're happy, right click. Okay. And linear in terms of the curve. This is nice. This is really nice. Can increase the count. And what about the banking? Align, random rotation. Nah, I want to rotate. Wow. Let's slight offset. Can we rotate? How can I rotate? Can we rotate? That's a good question. Scale offset. Wow. Ah, nice. But not what we want. I cannot see rotation settings. So we have color, roughness, metallic, normal, emissive, scattering. We have a seed. By count, by distance, scale offset, random scale, rotation offset. Can we do that from here? So let's say 90. Yeah, there we go. And this is, yeah, let's say 90 only. And for the offset, oh, oopsie. Let's set this to 1. And what did I do earlier? I made them like random lateral offset. Let's reduce this a little bit. Yeah, you get the idea. And can we reduce the scale? So scale offset, let's say 0.5. Yeah, nice. And let's reduce this by a lot. And let's say the bus is here. Let's select rotation. Let's rotate this. Do we have a bus stop by any random? Oh, we have a bus. How about a bus stop? We have old Soviet bus stop. We can find one on Fab, but for now, I don't think we need one. So let's say a decal. Mango, thank you for the tip, rotation offset. Finally found it. All right, so now, let's say we're happy. I was saying earlier, when you to answer the question, should I use Unreal Engine or Twinmotion for my architectural projects? Maybe the answer can be both. You start with Twinmotion to quickly assign elements, add furniture, cards, materials, and so on. And then we go to File, Export to DataMath file, select Standard or Optimized. I didn't use Optimized yet, but let's go with Standard for now. And let's select our root Unreal project. So you cannot save this in random locations. Let's say I'm gonna save it here, save, and let's say like test. It will tell us to select our root folder of the Unreal Engine project we want to export this scene to. So no problem, let's do that. And to select your current project, so first of all, let me delete everything we have here. So I'm gonna press literally Ctrl A, select all, delete, and delete. Give it a second to delete. Let's drink some coffee. Coffee is so good. Here, let's right click or let's press Ctrl space. This is where you have your project. If you right click the content folder, you can find Show in Explorer. And here, by the way, I'm using Unreal Engine 5.6. I asked you guys, what Unreal Engine version are you using? I don't know if you saw the post. So if you didn't vote yet, please go ahead and do vote. So most of you are using 5.6, and that's nice. I'm using 5.4 for AEC Interactive, but still, right now and today we're gonna use 5.6. Here we go. I still getting used to the user interface. Anyway, we found our content folder. This is our folder. So again, right click, any file you want, show in Explorer, and that will show you the Explorer. Here, I would go back to Twinmotion, set that, and let's give it a name. So let's call this Tech School. Let's save and give it a few seconds. Drink more water, more coffee. Let's take a look at the chat. Relax, coffee, don't fall. This will take a couple of minutes, depending on the scale of the project. So while it exports, while it's doing its thing, let's see. Mango, will you be creating any tutorials for PCG, procedurally generated content in Unreal Engine? By procedurally generated content, do you mean PCG or procedural generation with blueprint? I like this. I will definitely consider it because procedural generation is one of my passions, actually. Oh, look at that. Another 25 minutes went by like so. That was fast. Anything on your mind, Mango, in terms of procedural content? Like, are you thinking roads or buildings? What's on your mind? And Omar, Yahya, off topic, but any plans for UE Fest in future? Do you mean as an attendee or as a speaker? Which one? Hell yeah. For both. I would love to, actually. All right, so now let's go back to our Unreal project and let's save this. And let's open Unreal Engine here. Here we have our map. So I've already created a folder. I called it Project Technical School. Here I have my empty map. Let's not save anything. And here we have the DataMath file we imported earlier at the start of the lesson. And yeah, let's call it old or something. You know, if you don't want to save everything or select and delete everything like this because it will take ages, since we didn't save anything, we can close the project and open it again. But yeah, let's do that. So here it asks us, do you want to save all of these files? And I'm like, no. And now let's open the project again. Both. I would love to, Omar. I should apply in the near future as a speaker, and let's see how that goes. And if I'm gonna speak about something, I think I'm gonna speak about blueprint and architecture. And as an attendee, I would attend everything. Okay, now to go back to the topic, in Twinmotion, file, export to DataFmath file. I love this. Standard, we exported that, took 2 minutes, and here we are in Unreal Engine. By default, you should have DataFmath enabled if you start a new Unreal Engine project from the architecture template. So import assets, DataFmath, file import, and let's select our file. So our file is in the root folder, which is here. So let's select that. We call it Tech School. Yes, Tech School. Click on Open. Set a location to save it. So Project Technical School, DataFmath, Geometry, yes. Materials, yes. Lights, yes. Cameras, why not? Animations, why not? It won't work, but why not? Now, let's wait a second or 2 seconds and see what happens. By the way, Omar, you was in Bali for the Unreal Fest. How was it? So as a start, blueprint discussion was missing in Bali. It's interesting, isn't it? All right. Now, here we have our file. We've imported the file, and if we switch to the wireframe mode, we can see we have the starting ground from Twinmotion, and in the middle of that, we have our project. And that's a good start. Now, I don't think for some reason it exported the lights, but that's okay. So do we have 2 starting grounds or just 1? Aha, we have a starting landscape and starting ground. Let's delete the landscape and let's keep the ground. Or, let's delete the ground and keep the landscape. Yeah, I like this more. Now, let's switch back to the LED mode. Let's go to Window, Environment Light Mixer. I miss my my plugin, One Click Light. I should improve it for Unreal Engine 5.6. And let's add the lights. So Environment Light Mixer is perfect for this. Aha, I deleted the ground and I should have not deleted the ground. So let's bring it back for a second. Let's add the lights again. Window, Environment Light Mixer, and click to add the lights. All right. Now, let's press Ctrl-Shift-S to save everything. Give it a second. Mango, I mean PCG, using PCG to generate city block or entire cities by defining where roads are, using curves or something else, and the buildings and other elements to generate around it. That would be amazing. I always wanted a solution to generate roads with PCG or something similar. I might look into this in the future. And PCG is really great. Like, I love it when you have the ability to build systems, then reuse these systems over and over and over. Like, it's just beautiful. So I'm definitely considering PCG in future, and I will definitely either do a live stream about it or videos about it and see where that takes us. Perhaps if I'm going to start with it, I'm going to start like with the basics, maybe a facade to generate some buildings, and we can build as we go. Now, look at this. Here we have the project that we imported from Twinmotion, and it's looking all right, except for the trees. Here we have this error on some of the elements, so I was expecting to see these also on the bushes, but we have them only on the trees. Invalid light map settings. This can be fixed in 2 methods. We either restart the engine or we set the correct light map settings from the mesh settings somewhere from here. So light map. This also gave me PTSD. It reminded me of the days where we used to bake the lights. So, we used to play with the solution, the source and the destination light map index a lot. Sometimes light bake would just be, it won't work as intended, but Jesus, this is painful. So now if we switch this to 2, let's say, and save, this might fix it. No. Okay. Light map, coordinate index, switch it to 1. If we restart the engine, it will fix it. There we go. If we switch this to 1, light map coordinate index, it will fix just this 3. Interesting. So the best thing we can do is restart the engine. Actually, it fixed it on all? No. Yeah. If you get this error, turn off the engine and open it again, and that error, the invalid light map index, will go away instead of adjusting the settings from the mesh settings, because as you saw, we may need to edit them one by one, and that's definitely a lot of work. Had one with Chris and Sam. They shared some useful tips on how to import data math files efficiently from 3S Max. I was having trouble importing larger master plan. That's amazing, man. Hell yeah. Chris is the Chris Murphy, right? The guy with the many Unreal Engine tips. Share these tips with me, Omar. All right, so now let's open that level and give it a few seconds. And the invalid light map index is gone as a start. So that's beautiful. And here we have a problem with the LODs. Yes, Chris Murphy. He is the one. He's such an Unreal Engine wizard. And let's take a look. So the trees, for now, we have 2 options. We can assign the leaves material as a start. Let's see how that is going to work. Or the billboard. So Unreal Engine and DataMath are wow, are not handling the LOD materials very well. So we need to delete the LODs. That's the only solution I know of. So right now this will look really funny. These are some big leaves. We don't want that, but let's see what about the billboard. Is it gonna work? It's not great. So from my perspective, what I would do is limiting the LODs, but yeah, let's do that for now. So let me remember where it was. Man, I wish I went to Bali. That was possible, perhaps, to attend the Unreal Fest, but I'm gonna keep an eye on the next year events, that's for sure. It was for 1 day, 2 days. How many days was it, Omar? Number of LODs here. Let's specify this from 4 to 1. Click on Apply Changes, and that will limit us to 1 LOD. But we may need to turn this into nanite. I need to study the new nanite from the one we saw with the Witcher demo. It was so cool. The volumetric something here, because here we have 260,000 triangle, and that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot for sure. Let's open the other tree and let's go to the LOD number and let's set that to 1 as well, and let's click on apply and let's save. Now, are we doing this for every single tree? Yes, we are. And that's definitely not a good idea. So let's see, this called Indian sandalwood, and this here, Indian sandalwood. So here's a quick small tip. If you select a tree like this, so asset actions, select actors using this asset, it will show us how many. Wow, it selected everything. So let's select these here. I'm going to cancel. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing that they are named like this, so they are called growth for some reason. Let's select all these meshes like so, and simply click on this mesh here, press Ctrl B, press Ctrl Z to reselect your selection, and then chain the static mesh like so. Okay? Now we have this other mesh, which is also Indian wood something. Let's press Ctrl B. Aha! But these are all these are hierarchical instanced meshes. Can we edit these? These are the ones we painted manually. And they are harder to edit, so we need to open the static mesh from here and set this. Yeah, the export is nice, but it's not perfect. I thought we would have instances of everything, but unfortunately that's not the case, which is fine. Which is fine. No sad emoji. Hey, Sam. Good morning, my man. How are you? Long time no see, brother. I hope you're doing good. Actually, I was thinking about you just yesterday. And the reason I was thinking about you just yesterday because I was going to go live, but I couldn't do that yesterday. And I was like, man, I miss Sam. I need to message you on Steam out of all the places we talk on. So it's good to see you, buddy. Let's fix this large tree and let's set, well, this large tree is also the same tree we had earlier. So let's select that tree we had earlier and let's simply replace it like so. Now, there is a plugin I recommended in the past and you may have seen a video about it. It's the project cleaner. Let's quickly check if it's in the marketplace. So let's go to the library and let's go to project cleaner. Aha, it's not on Unreal Engine 5.6 yet. It's a really good plugin to remove unused assets like so. But also, I recently got a tip that if I remember that would be nice, it would show us unused assets as well. So, other filters, not used in any level. For some reason it's not working yet, but maybe we can dive deeper into this later. So that's okay. Reset filters. And yeah, let's take a look. Here are all the materials we assigned earlier. The wood material. We didn't assign the material here, but we can simply click and assign it like so. And I like this, as you can see here. Here we have our nice sofa. So now these here are the instances. If you right click and select actors using this asset, only 2 actors. So we can easily replace these. Actually, yeah, that's right. So we have only 2 actors. The way I do it, I select the actors like so, and then select the mesh that I want to replace them with, and I would go to where we have static mesh. So let me just double check. Here we have 3 selected, but we should have 2 selected. So I don't know where is the third element. Haha, is the data math file, of course. So nah, it's just easier to find them from here. Wow, we are kind of far. Let's select the object, select this one, and assign this. And let's rotate. Set the rotation. I like my system, very nice. How did that affect the stream? Minus 90, 180, yeah, 180. And if we exported other objects, we can easily replace these armchairs and so on. Hey, my man. I was thinking last week when I was porting a game project to 5.6. How did the porting go? And thank you for thinking of me, dude. It's like telepathy, my man. Okay. So that's the first part of the stream. As you can see, it's really time savior to open our projects in Twinmotion, to assign all the materials and the meshes and everything we need to assign in Twinmotion, and then we can export things to Unreal Engine, as you can see. So we have the cards, we have the furniture, we have the materials, and many other elements. The bushes here. We have also the patch, this patch here. Ah. So this is using PCG. Beautiful. PCG, what we did in Twinmotion here, when we placed the line, and like the way we draw the line and whatnot, this converted this to a PCG element that we can see here. And you can imagine then this can be used for many other elements. This is so cool. All right. Now, the next part of the stream, I want to update you on where I arrived with the development of AEC Interactive, my blueprint tools. And let's have fun with that together and see if we can have some ideas, some things that we can think of, and let's take it from here. But I just want to bring quick water, real quick, or maybe I can last without water for another 25 minutes. You know my logo is to stay hydrated. So let's drink the last little coffee and then we can continue. And let's see if you guys have any questions as well. Coffee is finished. Carlos, my man, I am at the gym, but I saw your notification and wanted to stop and say hello. I love your work. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And happy workout. I'm proud of you. The gym is a very important place. My body still hurts from my last session. So I hope your body is not hurting. I hope you've been going for a long time now, so you should be good. And thank you again for stopping by. Sam, the port went good. We wanted to be able to load whole Photoshop files into the UMG. Man, that's one of the new improvements on 5.6 to load Photoshop files. And I'm glad it went good. Congrats. Okay. So, if AEC Interactive, for those of you guys who don't know, it's the name of my interactive toolset, the blueprint that I have been developing for the past 7 months, and it's also a course. So very, very soon, perhaps in 2 to 3 weeks maximum, I'm going to release this into a marketplace product, whether on Fab or on Gumroad, I'm not really sure yet, because I still need feedback and I still need to develop, but as you can see, one of my recent updates is a gallery view of the tool set. So basically, you right-click the gallery and you migrate that to your project. And once you do, you're gonna have the elements. The elements in the project are basically here. VRD AEC Interactive. Now, I want to give you heads up. There have been a discount on the course as it was under development, and now I finished producing the course and there will be future updates, but the foundation is finished. More than 45 hours of lessons and more than 18 systems and many other features we've built. So the discount is going to end tomorrow, no, on Friday, so less than 2 days to get the course in its own this price, okay? So if you want to learn Blueprint, some good Blueprint training, and look at me doing this, I highly recommend this course because this is what I have been doing for the past 7 months. I have been doing nothing but researching Blueprint and teaching Blueprint. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's take a look at the system. So in any Unreal Engine project, when you click on play, we get nothing. What if we need more? That's exactly why I am building this template. I want to make it easy to turn projects into interactive experiences with the least resistant, like with the fastest time possible, if you will. So now I'm going to press Control Space, and here is the template. But before I do, let me just quickly. Sam, actually, I should send you this. I'd love your feedback. We both have history in developing things for architecture, so your feedback will be highly requested, actually. So I'm gonna send you this, and let's talk soon. Now, we said we need to talk 50 times, so this is the time. Ricardo, so you have a project library. If you're talking about AEC Interactive, yes, it's my project library of blueprints. And if you're talking about what we are seeing here, this is what we just did in Twinmotion. We assigned the materials, we've added the cards, we did some tests, and then we exported this as a datasmith file, and we imported that in Unreal Engine. Now, to start, I'm going to press Control Space, and let's go to Blueprint. So this is a live demo. I need to remember some steps. Yeah, the first thing we need to do is to set our game mode. So the game mode, if you click on the drop down here somewhere we should see the Blueprint game mode AEC. When we assign this, this will assign the game modes, or it will crash the engine. Let's wait and see. Okay, the engine didn't crash. It's just doing that to scare me. Twinmotion did it twice, Unreal Engine not the first time. Funny stuff. Now, once you assign the game mode, I wish I would say we are done, but we are not done yet. However, the first person character is what we're gonna see. Now we will get some error messages, like some warnings of actors we need to add. And it looks like there is no collision, so we need to set up the collision on our meshes. So I have a tutorial on the channel where we set collision on the meshes with the matrix. What it was, the name of it, the matrix editor something. So that's interesting. Let's start with these two surfaces and perhaps the walls. Let's see how that goes. Because I definitely don't want to set the collision on the 3 elements. Or maybe here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to select the trees. Okay. And here I'm going to make a new folder, call it trees. Actually, let's start with where we need the collision, and then we can select the elements we need to add the collision to, and we can add it. Because the type of collision we're doing is kind of expensive if we don't set them up, and this will take some time. So the path of least resistance is to set them from use complex collision as simple, if you know what I'm talking about. So we had the edit selection and property matrix. Let's select these two and let's go to body setup, collision, no, not collision presets, collision complexity, and let's use complex collision as simple, and let's save. Thank you, Sam. I'm gonna send you this soon, brother. Now, if we click on play, we should not fall from the ground, and we have the first person character. So that's as a start. Now, I'm gonna click on play again, and let's take a look what type of errors. We have the sun and sky, we need it, and the three other characters. So now if I want to switch my view mode, we don't see the other options because we need to add the pawns. So as a start, I'm going to go to my word settings, I'm going to go here, and I will add my 3 pawns. I'm going to add the third person mode, for example, if you want in your project to have a third person mode, and I'm going to add the drone mode. So let's add that somewhere, let's say here, and the location of these pawns will be the starting point. And let's add the top down like so. And some of the improvements I have on my list is to expose some values so we can set things up faster. For example, the spring arm length, we need to set that up. Do I have any setting for that or any variable? So the zoom amount, no, this is just the zoom amount. The spring arm. So let's do quickly from the construction script maybe, get set spring arm. This is a spring arm, right? Right. Target arm. Target arm length. The default value is 1200. Let's promote a variable real quick and let's expose that. So these are some minor things I will do. That's why this is not in the marketplace yet. And now I would select my top-down view, and we should see this here. So we can increase the starting point of the camera. And later we're gonna have things for rotation and so on. So that's one. We've added these 3 characters. Now I'm going to click on play. And if I click on view modes now, I can switch to the third person mode and to the drone mode and to the top down mode, like so. So that's nice. Now, if we want to control time of day, so let me quickly do again, click on play. There is no time of day yet, and that's because we need the sun and sky actor, not the directional light and the skylight like so. So we don't need these. Sky atmosphere, no as well. Volumetric cloud, keep it. Why not? Let's go to add. Let's go to where we have lights. Since we are using the architecture template from Unreal Engine, we have the sun and sky by default, or the sun position calculator enabled by default. So I'm going to switch the intensity of the sun like from 75,000 lumens to 10 lumens and give it a few seconds to adjust the exposure. Of course, this is not mandatory, but it's fine, because every time we hit on play, we're gonna have like that nuclear effect, and we don't want it. So that's why I changed this from 75,000 to 10,000. As you can see, once we added the sun and sky actor, now we have the time of day, and now I can change the time of day. Easy peasy. So what I like about this, we can easily now change the time of day, and we can now easily jump with our third person character, switch to the drone mode and to the top down mode and so on. Ricardo, no problem. You or anyone, if you have questions, feel free to interrupt me. I will read the chat as we go and answer the questions as best as I can. So I have mesh geo3, not cards. I make it nanite and the shadows get all messed up. So this is a question perhaps we can leave for the future about the shadows and the trees. And because I need to see it and I need to replicate it on my end as well. And to be honest, for the past 7 months, I have been doing only blueprint. No nanite, no lighting, no nothing. So I need to investigate a little. But if anyone have any ideas for Ricardo on how he can fix the nanite trees, that would be dope. And I imagine you are using 5.6, right? So let's see if we can replicate that error here. I'm gonna quickly enable nanite. I need to look into the settings. So this will not be enabled. Is it gonna calculate any price? Yeah, we definitely need to look into this, to look into the documentation and so on, because the last Unreal Engine version I have been using is 5.4. I never used 5.5, and this is my second time using 5.6. And I know that they enabled nanite on the meshes, on the vegetation from their latest video on The Witcher, but I'm sure that was just a tech demo. We need to investigate more about this. So these trees here you see now, they are just geo. These trees actually are the trees we get from Twinmotion library. If you go to Twinmotion, oops, not the house, home, and if you go to the vegetation, trees, I've added these 2 trees here just for testing purposes, and we exported these to Unreal Engine. Now, when I enabled nanite, the shadows are messed up they don't appear here on the trees, so I need to look into this more. And if I find a solution on this, I will make a video for sure, Ricardo. So now let me turn off nanite because I like to have the nice shadows on the trees. Or maybe it's just doing something. So I need to read the documentation to understand how nanite works on like what is new in it. So yeah, I hope to come with an answer in the near future. It was worth trying though. So now, Dunya, hello. Do you have videos on interactive materials on VR mode? Virtual reality is planned for the future, but interactive materials and whatnot are what we're gonna talk about in few moments. But if I want to quickly show you actually the development of the current course here, let's go to teleport and let's go to the customize room. So here we have multiple interactive modes. We have the legacy mode, which is just a mesh. Let me turn off the fan. It's making some really funny noise. So here we have 2 types of material switchers. One that is 3D, and the other, we're gonna see in the other room, it's 2D. So the customize mode will be enabled, when we enable it, so when we enable the customize mode, and when you get near a mesh, you're gonna see the customize mode. If you disable the customize mode, it will be basically disabled. So we have one for the materials, and we have one for the furniture. So let's bring back, and as you can see, here we have a preview of the customizations. But for me, these features were legacy, and they were for learning purposes when I was developing the course. What I like to have more is UI-based customization mode. So as you can see here, this one is for materials, this one is for the mesh, and the last one is for the materials and the mesh. So here, if you get near, you can bring this to learn more about this specific mesh, you can click on customize and you can customize between multiple options. The second mode here is the mesh swap. Click on swap meshes and you can see we have the ability to swap meshes, and here we have the ability to swap meshes and their materials. So swap mesh, select a mesh, and when we select a mesh, we can also set its materials. So this system, the way it's set up, you can select the meshes that you want to customize, and then you can give them their options. So here, let's say we have 3 options, then we add 3 array elements, then we give each a name. So good old bed is the name of this element, then a texture for the user interface. And I don't know, guys, if you've seen my last tutorial I uploaded last week on the channel, but it was about making gliding tools. So this tutorial here, if you want to learn the construction script, I uploaded a nice 80-minute tutorial where we design a tool. As you can see here, we can maybe even showcase it or for another stream. You add lights and you have like to allow you to build studio rigs basically with presets and the ability to rotate around meshes, to switch lights, to switch their intensities and so on without the need to placing lights manually. So one of the reasons I made this tool here is to allow me, to help me create these thumbnails to make my process faster. And that's what I love about learning Blueprint. The more Blueprint you learn, the more things you can mix and mash together. Like, I love it. It's such a joy to learn programming or visual scripting and to create new things that maybe you saw somewhere or never existed. So I had such a massive joy producing this lesson here, the Lighting Studio material. The Lighting Studio tool. So this is a tool we built with a construction script. If you want to learn Blueprint, if you want to start making your own tools, I highly, highly, highly recommend watching this tutorial. So as I said, I made this tool to help me make my thumbnails faster for my tools. So these are the systems we have here. And another system we have, which is when we enter the customize mode, here you can see we have walls, we have interior floors. This works with tags, and this is designed for architectural elements. As you can see, these here have a tag like walls. I can switch it like so. And these elements here, they have the tag floors. We can also switch them, and we can have many more lists and so on. So maybe we can try something here as we go. So far what we did, we've added our view modes between multiple view modes, and we've added the ability to switch the time of day. Very nice. Now, what if we want to teleport in the project? Right now, because this is a completely new project, there is nothing in the teleportation panel. So let's take care of that. And here I need to add the isValid node because we need the teleportation manager tool so we don't get errors, similar to the warning messages I placed at the start. So let's go to blueprints. Here we have base blueprints, and here are the systems we have. So where we gonna go? The teleport system. Here we have the teleportation manager. We need to add this anywhere in the level. It doesn't really matter. So let me just double check. It says teleport points manager. And here we have the teleport point. So let's say this is first floor. Okay. Maybe it's not first floor. This is outside or the parking lot. So I would open this list here and I would add a new illuminator and I would say this is the parking lot. And I would save this list. And maybe we need to compile the blueprint. No, we can do that from here, but I think we need to compile. And for some reason, Unreal Engine, maybe let me switch off Twinmotion because I feel there is some lag. Let's save this. I don't know where is the lag is coming from. because it was working normal. Anyway, this is the parking lot, and let's say this is the teleport information. First, we need to set this in a location we like. So let's say I like this location here. And let's say parking lot view 1. And let's create a duplicate. And let's call this parking lot view 2. The information and teleport list name, these were for testing purposes, so we don't need them. Now let's move this here. Oops, I moved it under the ground. Let's create a duplicate. And let's say I want to place that in the first floor, or we can make another list and we can call it ground floor. So I'm going to call this, or to switch it to the first floor, and let's say hallway, for example, right? Let's add this, or change the rotation, and let's just make sure it sits on the floor. I want to force that with the construction script in the future, but that's okay. Let's set this now to the second floor, and so on. So now, to see my teleportation points, all I need to do is to click on play, and I would click on teleport, and as you can see here, we have the hallway for the first floor, for the second floor, and for the parking lot. This will automatically populate, and when you click on any of these buttons here, it will teleport us. Oops, we need to set the collision on our actors here. So we can do that, no problem. I love it when we fall by mistake. This project definitely needs some preparation for the teleportation, for the collisions and whatnot. It has 0 collisions. So edit selection via property matrix, select everything, and let's use, for now, complex collision as simple, and that's a good start. So let's say my actor there, the teleport point, let's say we also need one for the cafeteria here. Let's simply click and drag, add that here. And let's say we don't have ground floor or any specific list you want to add. You open the animator, add one, and let's say this one is the ground floor or cafeteria or any name you want for the list. Now select that list from here, ground floor. Here's another 25 minutes, time's going fast. And let's call this, for example, cafe. And now when you click on play, we can go back to the teleport mode, and we can switch now between locations. And here we have the ground floor as well, and so on. And we can also take care of the list where it should be. So like, let's say ground floor here. It should appear now the first option. If it doesn't, I can show you how we can sort the arrays. Yeah, there we go. It's ground floor now is the first option, cafe, hallway, cafe, and so on. So yeah, I wanted a very easy way to populate my teleportation system. And if you are any one of my students, you will love this because this update is 2 days old. This is now fully dynamic, the teleportation system. In the past, if you remember, it was looking something like this. So let's go here. This is the very, very old system we made a couple of months ago. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I was thinking, I don't want to do things manually. I want to expand on this. So here, this user interface is populated manually, and that means in the graph, things are being set manually. And that's a nightmare if you have like 50 or 60 or 70 or even 5 teleportation points. I don't want to set things manually. I want to add my actors in my world. As you can see here, we have the teleportation points somewhere around there. These are the hotspots, and I want for the list to populate dynamically for me. And that's what I did. For that, similar to the system we built in the past, in the surrounding areas, these panels here, they also populate manually. Dynamically. I don't want them to populate manually. So similar to what we did here, we developed or we improved our system of the teleportation, which is the lesson number 13 or 14, if I'm not mistaken. And this here is lesson 170, I don't know. We've recorded a lot of lessons. So I love this system because if I make a duplicate now, and let's say the POI surrounding type, let's say this is a park, and let's say this is a nice park. And here we learn Unreal Engine and the benefits of real-time technology, blah, 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 but in the park. Any description you want to add, set the icon you want to set. So let's say this is the icon. You can set a thumbnail, media, tint color. Let's tint this with green, for example. And let's click on play. Let's click on surroundings now. Notice how we have now 2 lists, one for the schools, one for the parks. And when you click on any of these, it just works. And you can zoom in, zoom out, and so on. So as someone who have been in the industry, like I've been making with my team architectural and interactive projects for our clients, there are so many things, just like you repeat making materials and repeat making meshes and so on, you also get to a point where you repeat making blueprints. And that's not practical. Just like we build a library of materials and a library of meshes, here in this template, I'm building a library of systems that we can reuse in our architectural projects. So yeah, I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. Thank you so much, Ricardo. And Dunya, to answer your second question on do you offer private courses, I don't offer one-on-one courses, but we have a WhatsApp group for all of my students who are taking this blueprint course. Anyone can ask any question, and every day or every 2 days maximum, I go to the group and I answer all the questions, and we are learning the systems together, and we are building these systems together. I'm taking requests because I want to be this as generous as much as possible. So yeah, the link is in the pinned in the chat. If you want to learn more, go to the academy and you can make use of the current offer. Since the course is finished now, the early bird price also is going to finish, and there is more on the way. So even if you don't make it by now, in the future, this is fine, but I highly recommend joining us if you want to learn Blueprint and you want to learn creating your own systems. Now, going back to our project here, as you can see, we don't want to do things manually, so this is about the teleportation panel. Now, the customized panel, here, these are set by default, but we have nothing that we can customize yet. So let's say we want to customize the walls. So I'm going to select the wall exteriors, these guys. I'm going to search for them. I'm going to select them, and I'm going to isolate my selection. Did we select everything? Yes, almost. We have this element here. Basic wall. So let's say just these wall exteriors, okay? So these guys here. And if you're wondering, how are you doing this isolation, the visibility here, you can set your own shortcuts. So if you right click, go to visibility, we have height selected, show only selected, and show all actors. You can go to edit, editor preferences, and you can set your shortcuts. Show all actors, height only selected, and so on. So now I have these actors selected. I would go and search for tag, and we go to actor, advanced tags. We can add another tag and give it a name wall, for example. And the reason name wall or floor or whatever, sorry, is because how the current system is built. Who knows, we might improve on this in the future more for more user-friendly setup. But as of now, we must find our system. So it was called AEC something. Let me find the taskbar as a start. Here's the main taskbar. This is like the brain or one of the brains of the whole logic. And here we have the material container, AEC material container, this guy. Yes. So here we have the base blueprints. Blueprint, as you saw earlier, base blueprint. We have compass, doors, furniture changer, material changer. This is mesh. This is 3D based. We have a mini map system. We will look into that later. We have the points of interest system, teleportation system, and we have the UI materials AEC. And something to know, I want to rework the folder structure so it's easier to navigate. I'm still like brainstorming this and I want to do it on Miro. Anyway, when we open the blueprint responsible on this, and it's not one blueprint, it's a system. There are multiple blueprints involved because I want things to be dynamic. Anyway, when you add the lists, and this is the main list where it will populate our own materials. So here, if you open the list, this here in the logic, we get the materials from a data table. So let's say you have a data table of all your wall materials. Sorry. You create a data table and you add the elements you want for the data table. For every row, you can set the material thumbnail. You can set the instance of that material. So it can be any material you want and its thumbnail. You can give it a name and you can set the material IDs you want to change. And as you can see here, I've already done these here. So that's one. It uses a material table. So this is the data table of that material. And we assign that data table from here. Here you can set the data table you want to assign. So here I have data table, AEC, materials, walls, and it has the tag walls. So this tag here, I need to select my meshes and I need to add the S for the wall. So it's walls, so it has the same tag. Once you add that, the tag on the mesh, now let's click on play. Let's click on customize. Now this will change the material. And we can change this to any other material we like. Same on the floors and so on. Let me read the chat real quick. Mango, I had a question on your Studio Lite blueprint regarding variables and connections. For clearer connections, you were storing the values into variables, then getting the values whether needed. So my question is it better to store the values then use them later or connect the node directly to other? Does this affect performance or memory usage? I'm trying to understand the question, Mango. So we store the variables into a structure. Are you asking if we want to store the variables in a structure or just in variables? Is that what I understood? Now, the Studio Lite blueprint, I don't think it does anything for the performance because the variables are being accessed in the editor time. And once you set them up, that's it. They are not being called constantly. There is no event tick, for example, where we are calling the variables every single frame, for example. So whether it's variables or a structure, and the structure by itself is also a variable that contains variables, we should be fine. I don't think anything that can happen for the performance. However, if you left a comment on the video, I'm going to read it again and I'm going to respond as a written comment just to make sure. But if I understood correctly, there should be no negative impact on the performance since we are calling the the lighting blueprint in the game, in the editor. So here VRD dev, the blueprint, light rig. This is our actor when we add it. And right now we can either add lights like so. I love this, man. Just one click light, you can add a light, and now you can play with the settings, or you can select a light setup like so, a light preset, if you will, and there we go. One click like this. This is amazing. I'm so happy with it. Yeah, I hope this answers your question. Now, if we were calling these variables in the event graph, doing some event ticks and whatnot, this will be very expensive, but we're not doing that, and there is even no need for that as well, so we should be fine. Now, if you were talking about promoting the variables from our event construct from here, where we had a function, this function here, where promote everything to variable, this is fine as well, because we want to reduce the spaghetti amount we had in the blueprint. So we don't want to have many connections going all over the place. So this is an older version of the blueprint. Imagine having too many connections going all over. We're gonna have quick spaghetti. So I think we should be fine. Q. Weird question. When I process a pawn, the camera translation from the third person to the pawn at the original location, at the pawn at the camera location in the viewport, then goes to a new location. How to fix that? Transition. To be honest, I really didn't understand the question, Q. When I process a pawn, the camera transition from the third person to the pawn at the original location of the pawn, not the camera location at the viewport, then goes to the new location. I'm not sure I understood your question, Q, but if you are one of my students, can you confirm if you are? If you're talking about like what I have here, view modes, I have the first person, then the third person. If you are talking about this switch, like we go between locations, that's how I wanted to build the blueprint, because I want to be able to switch between different locations when I click on these. Now, there is something I'm considering, and that is making the first person and the third person spawn in the exact same location. And if you want to do something like that, before we do the switch between pawns, we need to get the location of the active pawn, for example, let's say the first pawn, and when we switch to the new pawn, we want to set its location to our first person character location. So that's something I'm considering to do in the near future. If you are like, did I understand you correctly? If that's what you're looking for, then yes, you want to store the location before you switch, and when the switch happens, you want to apply the active pawn location on the new pawn you are switching to. Now this here is extremely annoying. Can you go away, please? Let's just delete it. Get out of here. Thank you. One of the worst things I always see is when we have too many overlapping faces. I can't stand them. Koala Gamer message. I remember you, man. I saw the message before you retracted it. Hope you're doing good, buddy. It's been a while. My pleasure, Mango. I will read your comment again and I will reply again, so just to make sure we are on the same page. Ricardo. Unreal can hire you. Thank you, man. Thank you. Hell yeah. Okay. So here is saving, and while it's saving, okay, let's continue. Click on play. Who knows, Ricardo, I will apply in the future. If Unreal are interested in this template, maybe we can update the template, the default templates we have on the architecture template. Who knows? We will see step by step. Yeah, something I would love to do in the future is to somehow convince Epic to switch the default architecture template to one of my templates. That would be nice. Okay. We were talking about the customize mode, the walls and whatnot. So here, as you can see, we can add as many more options as we want and they will just appear. Now there are no options, so this will revert back to the old material, as you can see. For the interior floors, or whatever the name of the list we can give, here, open this data table. Here we have now two options. And if we open the blueprint, interior floors, floor interior, if I select the floor here, and let's find the actor tag, let's assign that, let's click on play, let's bring the customize mode, and now as you can see, it's so easy to switch materials. And if I want to add more options, then I can add more options. Oops, not import. You can import your data tables, by the way, but this is kind of complex and not for this specific scenario. Let's say option. Let's see, do we have any nice material here? Let's say asphalt, right? For the interior, why not? And let's see, do we have any asphalt texture for placeholder? We should have given it a name though. Customize. Here we have option. It's called asphalt, and now we have this as an option. And when you click on there is a place with no option, it will revert back to the default, but of course we should have options. And now you can add as many lists as you want. So that's the customize mode in a nutshell. And as you saw here, you can also have like these type of actors. You add it to the world, you add it around your actors that you want to edit, then select the actors you want to edit and click on the available materials. And by the way, guys, for those of you who don't have time to learn Blueprint, but you are still interested in testing the template as it is when it releases as a standalone product, you can join the newsletter. So if you don't have time to learn, but you still are interested in buying the template when I release it, feel free to join the newsletter because you will be the first to know on the newsletter. Okay. Soon, actually, I'm planning on releasing an early bird version, a discounted version of the template only with like similar walkthrough to select amount of people. Like I don't want to release it publicly because I still need feedback and I still want to polish it and to make it more user friendly, more than what you can see now. So it's a process. Now, what else do we have? We have so many menus. Let's close some. Wow, we've been live for like 2 hours. Time goes really fast. I wish we could slow down time, man. It does not. So we have hide furniture. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's actually super basic as well. So here I have some elements that they have a tag as well. If I click hide, it will toggle that mode. And notice when we hide furniture, we cannot customize furniture. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, I was thinking, okay, we cannot customize furniture, but we still want to customize architectural elements. So that's something I'm considering to see how I can find a workaround around this, but more buttons, if you will. And I was reading this article. I love to take inspiration from other people. This article from Epic Games last week about digital twins and to see how people are using Unreal Engine, how they're making their own blueprints. So idea from here, idea from here, idea from there. you can build your own thing. So this article, for anyone who is interested, you can also read it, learn more about the importance of real-time technology and digital twins. Okay, lighting mode, pretty self-explanatory as well. If you click on play, the lighting mode, my goal from it is to have like rendering modes for stylized view modes, stylized rendering, if you will. So screenshot, cinematic mode, it will run a cinematic, but I don't have a cinematic here. Now filter search, click on home. This here, basically, we need to bring a section, so let's bring a section first. Section, clipping system, and here is section. Click on filter search, click on home, click on any asset, then click on section view. This needs a setup, so that's okay. This is a filter search similar to what we have in the filter search here. How many bedrooms, the area, the price, and so on. So this is the same. Now, one of my favorite things about this system and something I was testing is the ability to do a section view. So now let me test this real quick together. Let's go to system POI, clipping system, and let's add this like so. And let's add some bounds. Yeah. So I got a question at the start of the stream, like the Twinmotion materials are kind of complicated more than they should. And in a way, I agree and I don't agree. I agree because there is a lot happening, but I don't agree because, as we said, in Twinmotion, I closed Twinmotion. We have section cut, we have weather effects, and many other things. Now, I was testing this, so for the clipping system to work, you need to open your master material, like so. And this material, I was like, yeah, this is kind of complex at the start, and then it's easy. So we need to switch this from material expression to default let, if I'm not mistaken. And by the way, if you want, anywhere in Blueprint, in Unreal Engine, if you want to see what are the change settings, so when you open something and you see so many settings like this, and you look for these arrows to know what has been changed, you can click here on this gear icon, and you can click on show only modified properties. Click, and that will show you only the modified properties. As you can see, this will make it small. So now I can switch, let's say, default let, and I can make material attributes or material attributes, set material attributes, no. Let's just search for attributes. So make material attributes, set material attributes. I kind of forgot what I wanted to do here, but that's okay. Attrib. Hair, blend, break, get material attributes. Break, material attributes. Aha, okay. I was looking for this option, use material attributes. Just disable this, and there we go. So here I would connect these, specular roughness, the settings that we need to connect, opacity, no, opacity mask as well, no, normal, yes, tangent, AO, ambient occlusion, pixel depth offset. I'm not sure this is working, and the word position offset. I think these are not doing anything, but just in case. And then I need to bring my material function. So this material function now, if you connect this to opacity mask, it will give us an error that we should not get. So something is off. Material. Okay, yes, of course. Maybe if I disable these here. Yes. These two are the what Twinmotion. This is such an impressive material, by the way, for cutting things out. So this is Twinmotion version, this and this. I need to study. And this is my version. This took me too long to create, and I was like, yeah, finally. And this was like 3 months ago, 4 months ago. And when I saw these two, I was like, I have such a long way. I need to study so much. Anyway, now let's go back here. Let's press Ctrl Z multiple times. And I hope the engine won't crash. Hey, Innocent Kayombo, thank you so much, and I'm happy to be back too. I'm happy. Oh shit! What happened? Okay, let's do it manually. It's good to see you, Kayombo. How's life? I've been locked in, man. Just total focus. And I'm just trying to figure this out. Let's save this now, and I hope it will work as intended. So now let's save, and let's go back here. There we go. Now I'm gonna add more to the bounds here. Move it around. Let's make it slightly bigger. And there we go. I love this. So this as well can be set up in the engine, similar to what I showed you here, guys. When we click on play, when we click on filter search, click on one of these options here. So section view, let me do that here as well, why not? But I don't know why I'm getting lag in 5.6 here, but I have two engines, I have recording and the live stream and a lot, so to be expected. Maybe I have too many windows open too. Let's close some of them. Close, 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 close. Get out of here. Close. Get out of here. Get out of here too. And let's see. So press Ctrl space. Let's add the actor. And let's make the spring arm a little bigger. Let's set a row name as a test. And the mesh scale, let's make it slightly big so we can see it. And let's do a test quickly. Click on play. Now I need to switch this also from units to different values. Like in this case, it's a technical school, so it's not a unit. I need to look into that as well. So that's why we want to test the template with you guys on different types of projects and whatnot. So let's click on play, and let's bring our view mode, top down mode, the filter search, and click here. I need to set the game instance, so that's very important. Let's go to the project preferences, and that's mentioned in the documentation, project settings, and search for game instance, because this is a central place to save the user interfaces, basically. Register them. And I like to set like error handling. I remembered because, hey, if there is no game instance, tell the user you need to set the game instance. So now if we click on the filter search, click on this, we should see the menu. Click on section view. It will move this plane here basically to show us the section view. And if we're not happy with the positioning, so I clicked on POIs, I should have the POI manager as well. Let's move it down a little, and let's click on play. And let's click on filter search. Yeah, works as intended. And the same goes for the other types of points of interest, for example, the amenities and the surroundings. And basically you set the point of interest manager at the center of your project. And when you click on play, you click on the surroundings, for example, it will show you the distance from the center of your project. In meters, if it's below 1 kilometer, and in kilometers, if it's more, like if it's a massive amount. So let's say here, let's set this to be a hospital, for example. And let's set this to be a hospital. And let's make another, place it really far, and let's call this to be a shopping mall, for example. And let's see, do we have any shopping mall? Yes, we do have something for shopping. Click on play. Click on the surroundings. And as you can see, now we have more lists. This will populate dynamically. And the more lists you add, the more things it's going to add. And of course, we need to give it a name. So this is a hospital. This is 484 meters away from the center, from the home view. And here we have this area, or this shopping mall. It's 1.4 kilometer away. And yeah, easy peasy. So that's for the surroundings. The amenities is for the interior of a building. And you can have a secondary text and an icon and so on. And when you click on it, it will also change the camera view. We have a compass. So that's nice. It works. It's a compass. And we have a mini-map. And the mini-map was one of the most difficult things I've created. So it works on multiple floor levels. It works on multiple buildings, multiple floors, and multiple rotations. So if you have a project with multiple buildings, you can place the mini-map and scale it manually, and then you just walk inside it and it just works. If you are inside the bounds of the mini-map, when you leave, it will tell you, hey, there is nothing, and you can, of course, zoom in. It will follow the player movement, and if you get near the corner, notice here, it will snap the view to the corner, so you can see the corner, basically, on the X and the Y. And I made a meme about this. I don't know if I have the mini-map meme. No, I don't. Where I spent 1 month working on this system, and I created 20 lessons, basically, 5 hours, 4 hours of explanation to create the system from scratch. So here it supports multiple floor, but I need to have like a stairs or something. And let's see, do I have other textures? Yes, we do. Let's test this real quick. So let's bring the minimap. Let's add the bounds. And let's add one floor as a test. Let's go to the textures and let's select the office, for example. Assign that here and rotate it. It will take also the office aspect ratio. So this is another feature. And now when I click on play, let's bring the minimap. Well, maybe you need to move it up a little so we can see the bounds. Click on play, press M to bring the minimap, and it works. It works on any rotation, and that was also its own challenge. And when I solved it, I was like, yeah, amazing. So imagine having multiple villas, multiple buildings, multiple floors, all that stuff. Basically, it just works. And if it also teleports, like it's one thing to develop a couple of systems, and it's completely different thing to make multiple systems and make these systems work together. So if I go to minimap view here, you can see like it switched to this minimap for us. And yeah, that was fun. I'm not gonna lie. Fun. Okay, what else about this template? The update. Like this is in a way the last devlog I did, I think it was 2-3 months ago. So think of this as a devlog as well. And I'm happy. So now if I create the floor plans of this building, it will also have a minimap. And if I set the filter search, I think this can be for the types of rooms, surroundings, amenities, and so on. They just work. So now I'm gonna read your questions, guys, and I think we've been live for a couple of hours. Yeah, 2 hours. And we're gonna wrap it up. I will focus more on making videos, and I hope by next live stream I will announce it at least one day earlier. And we will see where things take us. But now I have more time to focus on creating videos for the channel here. So the video we shared last week, the lighting system, is like a welcome back. And yeah, I'm very happy now where I can focus on different things. And I think this is also just the start of this system. Like there is a lot to do, a lot to polish, a lot to keep going, but that's what I also call scope creep, like scope creep. Like nothing ends. We can always keep developing and improving things, but in a way, that's the process. All right, let's read the chat. Ricardo, I always have this question in mind. If I do project like that for one house, an architect can afford this, let's say 20 per hour rate. So Ricardo, you can work with people like, how can I say? Where is that company? There are people who are going to afford it, and there are people who can afford it and many, many more times, and there are people who can barely afford it. I think the first step is to find the right client for such services, and usually these are property developers or like big developers or medium developers. So an architect, it depending on who they are, and it's really finding the right people to take this. And this was my main thing 10 years ago when I first started with Unreal Engine. There was people who could afford only renders, and they would even pay cheap for renders, and they are not the right customers. So it starts with finding the right customers, and we take it from there. And one of the best ways you can do that is create something and share it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an amazing platform for organic reach, organic growth. And people who like what you're doing, 100% they will reach out, 100%. So I have the book there, so I can always see it, or hear sometimes, is show your work. So start by making something and show your work, and offer these services, and that's like 50% of the job. And by 50%, I mean there is 50% chance that people will reach out to you, and of course you can always reach out to people. And one thing I would never, ever, never, ever do is charging per hour. That's the worst mistake, if you will, if you do. Never charge per hour. Charge for the result. Charging per hour, like what if you did it much, much faster? And the whole purpose of this template, for example, is to allow you to do the job much, much faster. Instead of spending weeks, you can spend days, for example. So charging per hour will punish you. I highly recommend charging per result and charging a fixed price, like as a start. And by charging by the result, you need to understand then why the client is doing their project. Are they doing the project just to get design approval, or are they doing the project to sell the properties? There is big difference here. And based on the difference, based on the needs, you can set the price. And it's something you learn as you go. And that's definitely, like, stay away from charging per hour as an artist or as a developer using real-time technology. It will only hurt you. Your time worth much, much more. And I believe you're going to deliver. And this, what we do here, guys, is really valuable for real estate companies and real estate developers and property managers and so on. And we are like, you know, when you make a project in Unreal Engine, visualizations is just part of it. There is also digital twins. So like real-time technology, the project never dies. There is always something you can do with the project. And of course, it depends on the type of the client you're working with. But this is something I always say to my clients. When we sell the properties, we're not done. We can develop or we can create digital twins using the IoT devices, Internet of Things devices. And these things you can do in Unreal or any other engine or any other platform, but there are so much potential and opportunities when you work with real-time technology, and they are not for everyone, that's for sure. That's for sure, they are not for everyone. So it depends on who you talk to and how you market your services and some other aspects. And it's a process as well. So to recap, don't charge per hour, make nice work, share that work on LinkedIn because that's where most people in the real estate or other industry, they hang out, and it has really nice organic reach. And hopefully you will see nice results. Easier said than done, that's for sure, but at least you can get started. I hope this answers your question, Ricardo. Prem, Pratik, hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, I'm doing great. It's great to see the progress whenever you're live. Thank you so much. I have two questions. One, is there a route option like Archviz Explorer? That's on my roadmap to have the ability to show roads and routes. And is unit search process data in real time? That's also on the roadmap, and it was requested by my students to connect the unit data to something like Google Sheets. Now there is a plugin that I'm going to buy soon because now I think the foundation is finished. So Unreal Engine, Google Sheets. If we use such a plugin, let me find that. Mark Fab, let's say. let's see, what do we have here? Is it the same guy? I believe it is the same guy, runtime data table. So this is one plugin, and there is the G-Sheets operator or something where we can take care of that. So this, the ability to create routes and roads is on the roadmap, and the ability to process data from an online source in real time is also on the roadmap. And which one is going to come first, I don't know, but they are both will be in the features in the near future. Now, right now, to answer your question, or to show you a little bit what's behind the scenes, when we go to the units and we go to the data tables, this is the data table I'm using. I created this with Google Sheets, then I saved it as a CSV file, and I imported this with the re-import function here. My next goal is to connect the Unreal Engine with either an online data source or with Google Sheets. I'm looking for the path of least resistance. I'm even like looking into if it's possible or how is it possible without plugins, but I think this plugin and this plugin are very important, but it's a process. So it's definitely on the roadmap. And these two are very easy to use, so they are the last resort. Thank you for the questions, Prem. Choki, hello. When is your update for your Archviz course coming? For 5.6, I have, once I make some more progress with the Blueprint course here, I plan on creating a whole new course actually about architectural visualization to showcase the power of the Blueprint systems we are building. So there is another course, but it's in the future. I don't know really when, maybe 5.6, 5.7. I will, well, not, I think earlier than 5.7, but I'm planning to find some interesting project, like not this project, but some high-rise or urban project, and make something really, really worthwhile, because now all courses are simple villa, simple apartment, and I don't want that. I want something big. So, and I'm studying architecture actually, so I will see what I can do about that. But in the future, I plan on releasing another course other than Blueprint. And there is a course, I don't know if you saw it, that I released 7 months ago. It's completely free, and it's for Archviz, and it's 10 hours. So I highly recommend watching this for sure. You can find it in the playlists, and you can start learning today. It's for complete beginners. You are doing a Google map. Yes, with Cesium. So let's not save. I'm planning on building more tools for use with Cesium and integration with the Google Earth photorealistic tiles. So this is Berlin here. I was doing tests earlier, a couple of weeks ago, to test the system for the surroundings, as you can see. So yeah, definitely. The system here works nicely with Cesium, and I want to build more tools that works with Google Maps and Cesium. I love Cesium. Sam, my man, it's so robust, man. You've added a ton. Thank you, buddy. It's been a journey, man. Like doing nothing. I have literally been doing nothing for the past 7 months except for researching Blueprint, studying Blueprint, reading documentations, reverse engineering, and researching and developing, and just Blueprint. Day and night, every single day. Like, I think I learned about Blueprint in the past 7 months more than I learned in 10 years. And I'm happy. I'm really happy with the progress I did. Like, I feel nice about it. And I feel like So that's what you can do when you focus. So yeah, I'm very happy. Thank you so much. And I look forward to sending you the template, Sam. And I will send you on Steam so we can talk. I need to send you my WhatsApp. It's good to see you, buddy. Sam, I agree with this. Hourly charging causes a lot of drama too. True. Especially when working with inexperienced clients. True. Been there, done that. The way we learn is that's what it is, man. We always learn. All right, guys, thank you so much. It's good to be back on the live streams. I'm not gonna lie, every time I go live, I feel so stressed. And sometimes I postpone it because I'm so stressed. I wanted to go live yesterday, but like, fuck man, I'm stressed. So that's the only way to do it is just to do it. That's what it is. It's good to see all of you. I really hope you enjoy today's stream. And as I said, I will not be streaming daily, but next time I will let you know. And I'll be focusing more on research behind the stream, behind the camera, making videos and taking your requests. So I actually really need your help. You can either comment on this live stream or on my videos in general, what type of videos you want to see in the future. Now I feel I made a massive milestone with my course, with the blueprint systems I am building, and now I have more time to focus again on the channel and on different things. And YouTube for me, going live, making videos, is one of my passions, is something that makes me happy. So I want to be more happy by taking your suggestions. Let me know what type of tutorials and lessons you want to see. And yeah. That's what it is, guys. We focus, one thing at a time. One of the worst mistakes I have done in the year 2024 is doing too many things at the same time. And you end up doing nothing right, almost. At the end of the year, I focused only on making the free Unreal Engine course, and I'm proud of it. We have like 11 hours, 10 hours of course. And I took that lesson to the blueprint system, the course we're building now, and it makes you happy, you know. So that's what it is, one thing at a time. Now, heads up, guys, the offer will end in 2 days, but don't worry about it. There will be more. And if you are looking to learn blueprint, to learn visual scripting, I highly recommend checking out this course, this training program. And I'm starting to feel tired, so I'm gonna end the stream here and go get some rest. So I have a lot to share with you, and I have so many ideas I want to do, but I was just saying one by one. So once I finish the major systems, the major polishing of the blueprint system, I'll be working on an urban development of an architectural project, something that I can showcase the power of blueprint with. And I think as I do that, right now I started learning the motion graphics tools in Unreal Engine. Fun fact, before I learned 3ds Max and Unreal Engine and all these things, I used to be a visual effects artist and motion graphics artist. That was like 10, 12 years ago. So that was one of my first jobs ever, visual effects artist. So I feel like I'm back home now as I'm learning motion graphics again, and yeah, motion graphics again. I'm kind of happy Unreal Engine added the motion graphics tools in Unreal. So I wanted to do these because I want to incorporate Unreal Engine with the video production process. So we will see how that goes. These are the ideas I have. Actually, here's another something fun I was doing. The dev area, don't save. I'm testing this. So now if I click on play, what do I have here? Let's test this. Eventic. Yeah, something is off with this blueprint. But yeah, here I'm trying to to create Trello, but in Unreal Engine. where I have the tasks and subtasks and all that stuff, because what I've been doing with AEC Interactive, the blueprint template I've been building for architecture, there is so many things I'm transforming to different things. So now I'm learning how to connect APIs and whatnot. And I really want, like, this is a weekend project, but to have like this dominoes effect where the most important task, then the one after it, then the one after it, and which one should be done first. So yeah, these are the things I'm doing on the sides as a nerd. And here I was doing a test where I don't know why it's not working as intended. Maybe if we move it, no. Let's edit this again. Let's compile and save. Yeah, it just does not want to work. But I'm looking also in, let me just do this. Game. In creating materials out of, there we go. For some reason, there we go. In creating materials out of user widgets. So yeah, there is a lot of things, like I feel now doors are opening as I'm learning more blueprint, and I'm very happy with it. So it's a step-by-step process, that's for sure. Now, as I said, guys, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments of this video and the other videos. And if you didn't get the chance to watch my last tutorial that I shared last week, it's this guy. It's where we create the light rig system. So if you are tired of placing lights manually and you want to place lights like I'm doing here, so here is another light, why not? Let's select it. Let's give it a color, and let's bring its intensity, like so, and there we go. So if you want to learn how to do this, I made a tutorial last week, and I had fun doing it, so I highly recommend watching that tutorial too. Now, thank you so much for being here today. And before I close, let me read if there are any final questions, and then we're gonna close. Thank you so much for being here, Omar. I really appreciate you being here and being one of my students, and it's a pleasure to have you, my man. I look forward to learning Twinmotion from you. I'm sure you have some tips you can share with me. Diots, thank you so much. Greetings to you too, and to everyone. And guys, here's something on the side as well. If you have any issues right now, we can find a plan for you, like between you and me. We can have the payments on multiple months. If you don't want to pay everything now, or you have a job and you cannot afford the course and you need some help, some assistance, you can do that. So let's do it, guys. Let's learn together. Blueprint is worth it. Unreal is worth it. And there you go, between you and me. Ahmad, thank you so much, Habibi. Can we create some kind of material blueprint with the MDF wood materials we use in our architectural projects and use it always in every architectural project? Yes, Ahmad. If you create your own library, you can reuse your library over and over and over again. So it's definitely possible. Corey, I'm about to buy your courses this month. Looking forward to it. Thank you, man. So, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Now, I really wanted to go live for 60 minutes maximum, but every time I go live, I enjoy it. And time goes until I feel like tired as hell. So now I'm gonna close and I'm gonna go straight to bed to sleep, wake up early, and keep developments. Can we, and the variant will work as variant? To be honest, Ahmad, I never liked the variant manager, and that's why I made my own systems to replace it. I felt the variant manager is in a way too complex for my liking, so you can use it. I'm not sure if I understood your question now correctly if you mentioned the variant manager, but let me tell you this. With Unreal Engine, you can do everything. The limitation is your imagination, literally. Truly, with Unreal Engine, you can do everything because it's open. You can make tools inside it if these tools don't exist. Of course, everything takes its time, but you can do anything. It's just breaking down things into step and doing things step by step. Now, as I said, guys, before I end the stream here, if you have any ideas for lessons for the future, let me know in the comments of this video. You too, Ahmad, and I will do my best to cover the topics that you guys request in the upcoming YouTube lessons or in the live streams. So, to recap what we did today, I closed Twinmotion, but I highly recommend from now on using Twinmotion as a visualization tool to assign materials and objects and things quickly to your projects. Then you can export these projects from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine. As you can see here, we placed the trees, we placed the cars, we placed the materials in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It was very fast. If you were to create the glass material and the stone material and all these materials from scratch, it would take you more time, that's for sure. So using Twinmotion, it really saved us time. And by the way, actually, I can show you a scene I imported that gave me the idea, like, why don't you use Twinmotion? It was the Snow Dawn sample project. And if you search Twinmotion Snow Dawn online, you're gonna find the same scene. So here in the Google, I was looking for scenes and projects because I want to explore the possibilities of the template I am building on different types of projects. So I remembered Twinmotion, they showed Snow Dawn sample in the past. And I remember in not very distant past, I also created a lesson on how we can geolocate our projects in the real world. So in the lesson here, if you, maybe you've seen this lesson, some of you guys, if you use Revit and you want to geolocate your projects. So I made a tutorial on that using Cesium Ion and using the same settings. Well, first I exported the scene from Twinmotion to Unreal Engine and it looks beautiful. That's one. And two, I geolocated this with Cesium, as you can see here. Guys, I love Cesium. And damn, so without Cesium and with Cesium. Beautiful. So my next steps for this scene here is to add everything we did today with our system, from teleportation points to surroundings points and so on and so on. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Let me know if you have any questions. And as always, thank you so much for watching, for being here. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Let's put some music now. And let's put the stream ending screen. Bye-bye.